lot of boxing, a lot of sparring, all the physical straining, running, lifting weights. That's beautiful. But you need to practice on what you have to do, and you have to box. So you should do as much boxing as possible leading up to the fight.
Who am I? Who am I to the people? I have a kid now, like I said before. Honestly, it's just that fatherhood time. I haven't yet spent much more time with my son as I would want to. And he'll understand that as he gets older. If I can see, how can I change and how can I give my son more knowledge rather than luxury things, then I'm going to do that. And the take back is really just about inspiring others like we always do, and grabbing everything, becoming a 2-time undisputed world champion, breaking history, making more records, doing things that people have yet to see. And I'm just grateful to even be here, honestly.
You're hitting the bag, right? I see you hitting them when you walk. I want you to do like this. Boom, 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 boom. Just keep for boom, 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 boom. How long you can do that? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. A combination, boom, like punch, boom, 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 boom.
And of course, hard work pays off. So this is where it shows. And yeah, man, I think that's the hardest part, though, is taking it all in. I think that's the hardest part, taking it all in. Because I want more. I'm not happy. I'm not satisfied yet. I need more.
What else more you want? What is more boxing can give you?
I need to put my foot in their neck, Mike.
Oh, you want to hurt people?
I want to hurt them.
That's a good one.
You know what? You know what I love about you, Mike? Is that right there. You always wanted your foot on their neck. Yeah. And I love that because it's the best feeling, man.
That's what the believe it or not, that's what the people want.
Yeah, of course.
People want that.
Have you ever experienced that moment in boxing when everything suddenly feels like a giant chessboard and everyone around it seems to be making subtle, calculated moves to gain an advantage, not just in the fight itself, but in the story and narrative surrounding it? That is precisely the energy circulating right now, as the viral clip began revealing one fascinating scene after another. Mike Tyson arriving at Teofimo Lopez's training camp, running drills alongside him, and even reintroducing Lopez to a taste of the classic peekaboo fundamentals that made Tyson legendary, creating an atmosphere where every move, every adjustment, and every demonstration carries layers of strategy, skill, and historical boxing wisdom.
I just say to God, I need your help here. Because I'm about to do something that I'm not built to do, and that's quit.
When you watch the footage, it becomes immediately clear what I mean. Iron Mike actively coaching reflexes, guiding slip and counter drills, and radiating that unmistakable aura of a fighter who has reached the absolute pinnacle of the sport, showing that this is far more than a casual cameo, as these clips have been shared and reshared across social media platforms, vividly illustrating Tyson's hands-on involvement and the wealth of experience he is lending to enhance Teofimo Lopez's preparation, giving viewers a clear sense of the mentorship, insight, and legendary expertise being poured into every moment of training. Now, let's flip the tape and see the other side of the story. After those intense sessions, a curveball emerged as Tyson, who has never been known for subtlety when sharing his opinions, began speaking about Shakur Stevenson, and some of his remarks came across as compliments wrapped in stark warnings, because on one hand, he lauded Stevenson's technical polish and exceptional ring IQ, yet on the other, he was brutally honest about what it truly takes to survive someone like Teofimo Lopez at this elite level, creating a powerful mix of respect and reality check that hits social media feeds like a forearm shot. And for Stevenson, hearing Mike Tyson publicly say, "Respect but don't get overconfident," is exactly the kind of high-profile pressure that snaps a fighter fully awake, sharpening focus and emphasizing the stakes in a way that only a legend like Tyson can deliver.
Do you recognize this energy?
Energy is beautiful, but we need something to match it. We need some.
Can't nobody match this energy, Mike. Come on.
I know, but you're looking at it, and this used to be a space that you lived in.
There's no doubt about it. That's why I'm getting excited with the other opponent.
Mike's just an instigator at this point. He just wants to instigate it. I love it.
Yeah, but I think the biggest thing about it, though, is that guys like yourself, legends, I call it, is you guys paved the way. And I appreciate the sport so much, but there was one thing that you had once said. It's like, the way I love the sport, it could hurt you, though. because it could break your heart many times.
Oh, many times.
And that's what it's been doing.
Man.
You know, I love it. I love the sport. But my biggest thing now, my goal is not about, yes, the financial funds and all that. Absolutely. Get paid. We risk our lives. But the whole thing is about making the fights happen.
Let's be honest. What does it truly signify when Tyson, the man who literally redefined how power, intimidation, and presence manifest inside the ring, takes the time to personally coach a young fighter like Lopez? First, it completely shifts the narrative, signaling to everyone that Lopez isn't just putting in the work physically. He's internalizing old-school techniques and craft that have been rigorously battle-tested at the highest levels. And second, it introduces a layer of uncertainty because Tyson's peekaboo style revolves around compact defense, punishing counters, and impeccably timed attacks, which represents a nightmare scenario for any fighter who depends on single-shot torque and bursts of relentless pressure, meaning that the Lopez who emerges from these sessions is fundamentally different, smarter, sharper, and far more dangerous than the Lopez who walked into the gym at the start. So, where does Stevenson fit into all of this? For fans who thrive on narratives, it forms an intriguing triangle. Stevenson, the slick defensive maestro; Lopez, the confident and explosive puncher; and Tyson, the unpredictable wild card mentor quietly enhancing Lopez's arsenal. And Tyson's remarks, which blend both praise and caution, serve a dual purpose. They acknowledge and validate Stevenson's skill, while simultaneously hinting that Lopez might enter the fight with adjustments and strategies that defy expectations, creating a subtle psychological nudge that carries real weight. Because in high-stakes fights, momentum is often shaped as much by what the fighters believe about each other before the opening bell as by what happens once the fight begins.
The further you pull your hand back, the harder you punch, but it's not. Punching comes with relaxation, real good pinpoint accuracy punching. You can hit a guy with pop and boom.
Let's get into specifics, the core of how Tyson's involvement could influence the matchup. Shakur's greatest strengths lie in his masterful distance control, precise head movement, and an almost surgical ability to transform defense into offense, as he operates much like a watchmaker inside the ring, making micro adjustments, perfectly timing each move, and exploiting every inch of white space, turning subtle openings into opportunities, and demonstrating a level of precision and calculated strategy that defines him as one of the most technically gifted fighters in the division.
Yes, sir. Last three.
Lopez, in contrast, is more like a wrecking ball guided by a precise map, explosive, confident, and capable of ending rounds with a single, perfectly executed sequence. And Tyson's peekaboo style isn't about aesthetics or making a fighter look elegant. It's about teaching how to make defensive ugliness incredibly efficient, combining a compact guard, intelligent bobbing, and perfectly timed counters. And if Lopez absorbs even a portion of that knowledge, he can close the distance more safely, while minimizing risk, which presents a significant challenge for anyone attempting to keep the fight clean and visually controlled.
Before, he knows the in and out about fighting, and it's just that we have to transfer that because he's using his legs and elbows and everything, grabbing. So we kind of, I don't know, did a new foundation and made him more elusive. You know, made him more elusive. He throws his punches with just bad intentions. And I just believe the consistency.
Now let's break it down tactically and imagine Stevenson's ideal game plan. Maintain range, pop the jab, pick precise angles, and frustrate Lopez until he overcommits, relying on the expectation that Lopez will make mistakes born of impatience. But now picture Lopez equipped with tighter head movement and sudden, compact counters, and suddenly Stevenson may not have all the space he normally enjoys. And while Tyson's coaching isn't a guarantee of transformation, nobody is suggesting Lopez will turn into Sugar Ray overnight. It could significantly blunt Stevenson's free movement, forcing him to unleash risky explosive counters or engage in scrappy exchanges he would much rather avoid, which makes Mike Tyson's cautionary remarks far more than mere bravado. They stand as a powerful reminder that the strategic chess match inside the ring is far from over.
So you have to have a constant attack. You can't go out there toe-to-toe slugging. You gotta cut him off, chase him.
Cut the ring off.
Yeah.
I think he's got good footwork.
He has good speed, too.
He's got great speed. He's got great power.
Let's step back and look at the human side of things. Tyson issuing a cautionary comment about Stevenson is also a brilliant media move, instantly generating headlines. Iron Mike warns the young champion, which in turn excites fans, analysts, and even the fighters themselves, and it's not meant to be malicious. It's just boxing, as veterans often lean into younger fighters because it builds anticipation, sells fights, and simultaneously pushes the young athletes to sharpen their focus. And if Stevenson sees this on social media, he has two options: embrace it and let it refine his mindset, or react emotionally and risk losing concentration, while champions typically transform that kind of external noise into fuel, channeling it into extra reps, more focused sparring and preparation. And as history shows, the greatest fighters consistently use doubt as a tool to add nuance, detail, and precision to their training, rather than allowing it to distract or derail them. This is where fans and analysts start to get playful, questioning whether Tyson's involvement is actually strategic theater, or if a Lopez camp is subtly planting a sense of inferiority into Stevenson's feed. And maybe it is, because boxing is as much about psychology as it is about punching, and a viral clip of Tyson leaning over Lopez, whispering technical secrets, serves as a piece of theater that forces Stevenson and his team to respond, publicly or privately, with every reaction, revealing layers of strategy. Do they counter with sparring leaks or highlight Stevenson's defensive genius in interviews? Meanwhile, the social war itself becomes another round to win. And yes, we have fresh training footage from Shakur's camp, but that doesn't diminish his strengths. The young fighter's film showcases elite-level movement, precise timing, and calmness under pressure, and he has defeated top opponents by outboxing them, backed by a team that knows how to craft a plan around his skills. And Tyson's comments function more as a siren to take nothing for granted rather than a forecast of doom, because advising Stevenson to remain cautious is akin to a coach reminding a fighter to respect a threat, a sharp, focused reminder that champions convert into discipline, and that is exactly what Shakur appears to be doing in preparation for his next challenge.
Beat your yeah, put that in there.
Loosen up a little bit, shadow box and get some sparring. Maybe about 8 to 10 rounds. And
everybody talking about Teo gonna win. Y'all all know that he gonna win, bro. Shakur actually fight accurate people, like not bums. Like he fought Oscar Valdez. Tate pulled out the fight because he's scared. Ryan Garcia's scared. Like they all scared. Even Devin Haney. Shakur gonna stop him. This easy. That's so easy. Y'all already know the question. Shakur on top.
I don't know. It ain't like I said. Your boxing get better by the hour, okay? Soon, you'll be undefeatable.
Niggas will all be just sitting back. Like, you saw him waiting though, right?
All right, let's turn up the heat for a moment. Predicting the fight is entertaining, but the real story lies in the human drama. A legendary figure mentoring a rising star while publicly sizing up a stylistic prodigy like Stevenson, creating classic old-school boxing theater where past meets present, ego clashes with craft, and the media circus amplifies every move. And on fight night, all the speculation, social media chatter, and narrative buildup will either carry weight or fade into background noise because ultimately the bell is the judge. Yet the buildup, fueled by Tyson's coaching clips and his cautionary remarks, has already layered the story with intrigue, drama, and anticipation, making the entire saga feel richer, deeper, and infinitely cooler than just the fight itself.
It all works hand in hand. It flows like water, as Bruce Lee says. And let me tell you, Tyson Fury said it doesn't matter if he has Muhammad Ali, Bruce Lee, and Mike Tyson training him. The fact of the matter is, all of those three combined are a novelty of the cuss style, of a boxing style that Mike knows like the back of his hand. And
so, what should viewers pay close attention to during the actual fight? First, observe how Lopez moves following those Tyson-led sessions. Notice tighter defense, reduced reckless exposure, and more compact, precise entries, reflecting the influence of the legendary mentor. Second, watch carefully to see if Stevenson's normally choreographed footwork is challenged. Does Lopez close the distance more effectively? Or does Stevenson respond by creating even smarter, sharper angles? Third, pay attention to the mental battle unfolding in real time. How do both fighters react under pressure, and what adjustments do they make in the opening exchanges, which will reveal a significant part of the story? If Tyson's coaching has an early impact on Lopez's performance, that influence will dominate headlines and reporters, analysts, and fans will rewrite the narrative afterward, highlighting how mentorship, strategy, and preparation shaped the fight from the very first bell.
The right fight for you, Teo?
The best fight in the best. And I think that since, after a tremendous performance by Crawford against Canelo, you see that type of fight and the magnitude it brings, you want to emulate it.
You could have fought anybody as well. 135, look for unification. For you, why was this the right one?
If you look in and around my weight class, I can't get the other big fighters to get in the ring. So you got to go to somebody who's willing to do it, and he was willing to do it, so now we're here.
What do you think of Shakur, his style?
Great fighter. Good fighter. He knows how to fight. He knows how to box inside, outside. He knows how to use his lateral movement. So I think that all those things I need in order to enhance my skill sets and also to challenge myself, because we can't say we are the best if we don't see it or look for it or even go out there and test it.
You've been critical of him, though, over recent months. Like you said, he had the power of a 6-year-old at one point on social media. You did, yeah. You had a lot of tweets over that.
I don't even remember. Dang. I don't even know what I'd be doing.
But you seem to believe that 140 may be a bridge too far for him, a step too far for him.
Shakur was honestly the most flawless from 123 all the way down to 114. Since then, he's had his shares of victories. I think 135 was his top tier, 140, I think we just got to wait and see. You know what I mean? And for him to even...
The first few exchanges will reveal a significant portion of the story. And if Tyson's coaching influence manifests early in Lopez's performance, that will become the headline everyone revisits and rewrites across the media afterward. But before we wrap up, here's an important reality check. Clips don't win fights. Reputation alone doesn't win fights. Preparation does. And while Tyson's presence adds a rich, evocative narrative layer, it doesn't determine the outcome, because what truly matters is whether Lopez absorbed those lessons effectively, whether Stevenson's camp makes the necessary adjustments, and whether both fighters execute their plans flawlessly on fight night. And that ultimately is the essence of boxing, where all the speculation, commentary, and social media chatter remain mere background noise until the bell rings and the fighters themselves craft the story inside the ring.
Going up to the 40s, I was already at 40.
Yeah, for sure.
So you see that 10-pound gap, I was thinking I was probably going to move up to 47.
Okay, seeing me, you think I'm smaller in person, or like, what do you think?
I know nothing.
Okay.
I know nothing, man.
I think that was your angle with Lomachenko. Like, I felt like you knew how little Lomachenko was, and you kind of capitalized off of that.
Heck no, that man was...
This is exactly the kind of subplot that makes Fight Week completely irresistible, because it delivers high-level boxing IQ, theatrical drama, and the rare opportunity to witness young fighters evolving under the watchful eyes of legendary figures, and Mike Tyson cautioning Shakur Stevenson after stepping into Teofimo Lopez's camp is precisely the type of spicy, headline-grabbing moment that pulls us all closer to the screen. So grab your snacks, clear your schedule for the fight, and immerse yourself in the beautiful, chaotic, and brilliant spectacle that only boxing can provide, because who wins? That's the equation the bell will ultimately solve, but the build-up itself is already a knockout story. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss any of our upcoming coverage, analysis, and breakdowns of the biggest fights in the sport.